Welcome to Say It in English, the podcast that helps you speak with more confidence. I'm Lexi.
And I'm Tom. Today we're talking about one little word that can seriously damage your professional image. Sorry.
Here's the trick. Most people don't realize how many times they say sorry at work in a single day. It's a word we use to be polite, but a lot of the time it comes across as a lack of confidence. It's almost like a reflex for some people.
Wait, hold on. How many are we talking?
One study tracked office workers. Average was around 30 times a day.
30? Okay, real talk, that was definitely me 5 years ago. Sorry to bother. Sorry, quick question. Sorry, every email started with sorry.
And here's the thing, none of those moments actually needed an apology. Today, we're swapping 6 of them out. Same politeness, way more confidence.
All right, I'm ready. Let's get into it. What's the first one?
Okay, first up is the one you just mentioned, Tom, asking a question. In so many offices, you hear people say, "Sorry to bother you, can I ask something?"
Okay, I have something to confess. For years, every Slack message I sent started with sorry to bother. I thought I was being polite. I was actually just sounding nervous.
Exactly. You're apologizing for needing information to do your job. It weakens your question before you even ask it. So here's the swap. Instead of sorry to bother you, try quick question when you have a moment.
Quick question when you have a moment.
In real emails, it could also be, "Hi, Tom, I have a quick question about the report. Let me know when would be a good time to chat for 5 minutes." It's direct, respectful of their time, but you're not apologizing for existing.
That's much better. It assumes you have the right to ask, which you do. It's your job. Okay, what's next on the list?
The second scenario is following up on an email, or as some people say, chasing someone for a reply.
Yes, the classic, sorry to chase, but did you see my email? I've sent that one 1,000 times.
We all have, but think about what it says. It implies you're being annoying for asking for something you need. So here's the swap. Instead of sorry to chase, try this. Just circling back on this, let me know your thoughts.
Circling back? That's a good one.
Circling back is a great professional phrase that just means you're returning to an old topic. You can say, "Just circling back on my email from Tuesday," or "circling back on our conversation from yesterday." It's professional, it's gentle, but it's not an apology.
Right. It makes it about the work, not about you being impatient. You know, this reminds me of a manager I once had. He was a really nice guy, but he apologized for everything. Sorry to ask you to do this. Sorry for the tight deadline.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, over time, the team just lost a bit of respect for him. It felt like he wasn't confident in his own decisions. He was apologizing for being a manager. It completely undermined his authority.
That's the real danger, isn't it? You train people not to take you seriously. And that brings us to our third swap, which is a big one for many learners, disagreeing in a meeting.
Yeah, that can be scary, especially in a second language. The easy way out is to soften it with an apology.
Exactly. The weak version is, "Sorry, but I don't agree," or "Sorry, can I say something?" It instantly puts you in a lower status position.
Right.
I see it a little differently.
I see it a little differently. Bold move, no apology, and it lands better.
It does. Another great option is, "That's an interesting point. Have we considered this other angle?" You're not saying you're wrong. You're saying, "Let's look at this together." It invites discussion instead of starting a conflict.
That makes sense. Okay, but what about when you actually are at fault? Like you're late to a meeting. You can't just pretend it didn't happen.
A great question. This is our fourth scenario. Let's imagine you walk into a meeting 5 minutes late. The weak version is running in and saying, "Sorry, I'm late. Sorry, sorry, sorry."
The panic apology. You make a big scene and everyone has to stop and say, "It's okay, no problem."
Exactly. You disrupt the meeting even more. Here's the confident swap. You walk in, sit down calmly, and say, "Thanks for your patience, everyone. Let's dive in."
Ooh, I like that. Thanks for your patience.
Here's the trick. Sorry puts you on the back foot. It makes the moment about your mistake. Thanks for your patience puts the focus on the other person being generous and kind. Same politeness, different power.
That's a fantastic reframe. You acknowledge the situation without derailing the whole meeting to talk about your apology.
And this leads perfectly to our fifth swap, which is specifically for our listeners who are learning English. It's asking for clarification.
Right. I hear this one a lot. Someone will say, "Sorry, my English isn't great. Could you repeat that?"
Yes, and please, to everyone listening, never apologize for learning. Speaking more than one language is a superpower. You should be proud.
Totally agree. So, what's the better way?
Drop the apology completely. Just ask for what you need. For example, could you walk me through that one more time? Or could you say that in a different way for me?
That's so much more direct. It's a confident request for help, not an apology for needing it. People are almost always happy to re-explain something if you just ask clearly.
They really are. It shows you're engaged and you want to understand. Okay, we're at our sixth and final swap. It's very similar to the arriving late scenario. This is about sending something late.
You mean when you miss a deadline for a report or a project?
Exactly. The standard email opening is, "Hi team, so sorry for the delay. Here is the report."
Guilty. I've sent that email many times.
And now you're going to stop. Using the same logic as before, we swap the apology for gratitude. The stronger version is, "Hi team, thanks for your patience. Here is the report."
Same logic. Focus on their patience, not your mistake. It feels so much more professional. It closes a topic instead of inviting a discussion about why you were late.
It really does. It's a small change in words, but a big change in mindset. You're shifting from a passive, apologetic position to an active, professional one.
So let's quickly recap the 6 swaps.
Great idea. Number 1, instead of "sorry to bother you," say "quick question when you have a moment."
Number 2, instead of "sorry to chase," say "just circling back on this."
Number 3, instead of "sorry, I don't agree," try "I see it a little differently."
Instead of "sorry I'm late," say "thanks for your patience."
Number 5, instead of "sorry, my English isn't great," ask directly, "Could you walk me through that one more time?"
And number 6, instead of "sorry for the delay," again say "thanks for your patience."
Here's my challenge for you all. Watch your sent folder tomorrow. Look at the emails you write and the messages you send. Once you start hearing it, you can't unhear it.
I'm definitely going to be counting my own non-apologies now. It's a great way to check in with your own confidence. Okay, so the big takeaway here isn't to be rude or to never apologize again.
Right. It's not about becoming impolite.
You're not becoming rude, you're just stopping the leak. Save sorry for when you actually messed up. It hits harder when you mean it.
So true. So our question for you all this week is, which sorry are you going to stop using first? Let us know in the comments.
And if you found this useful, do us a favor. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode.
Keep practicing, keep improving, and remember, your voice is valuable.
Thanks for listening to Say It in English.
Bye for now.